Yo, what is up guys, Ghost here, welcome back to the channel, and today is of course patch day. Update 1.1.2 is now live in Battlefield 6 along with the new Eastwood map and a slew of other upgrades and fixes. Some things got broken as well, we will talk about those as well as the good things. I also wanted to quickly touch on some updates from DICE themselves, some stealth changes in fact, that weren't in yesterday's patch notes, so we want to go over those. And then I also want to touch on the new bonus Battle Pass path that they put into the game, which is where you unlock one of the new weapons. There is some confusion about just how you go about doing that, so I want to make it clear to you guys. So as always, if you enjoy the content on the channel, hit the sub button, hit the like button, and thank you guys as always for your ongoing support. It is massively appreciated. So let's start with the good stuff. I think it's fair to say at this point, the Eastwood map is actually pretty good. I expected it to be kind of bad, maybe around the same size as New Sobek City. I don't know how big the map is compared to the rest of the ones in the game, but it feels, at least to me, like it is certainly one of the larger maps. Maybe not quite as big as Operation Firestorm or Mirak Valley, but almost. It feels as though there is a little bit more room to traverse around the objectives and lots of different engagement distances. Now, most of the objectives here are basically like houses, right? Because it's California, it's a residential area, so you'll have an American house with 2 stories to it, and therefore, on the objectives, there is a lot of like insane, frantic CQC fighting going on where you might want to have something like an SMG, but as soon as you walk outside of the houses, well then all of a sudden you can have snipers off in the distance, there's tanks, there's helicopters flying overhead, and things get very, very crazy very, very quickly. But if you want to take yourself out of the action, you're also able to do that on this map as well, which I personally really like. I spent most of my time playing Conquest and Escalation, so, you know, I haven't dabbled too much in Breakthrough yet. And whilst it was pretty challenging to learn the map, and I definitely struggled for sure, it was certainly an enjoyable experience. A couple of the things I didn't like that much about the map is that whilst it looks fantastic, don't get me wrong, I love the look of the map. It's very bright, very vibrant, lots of green, there are swimming pools, so you've got lots of blue and stuff in there as well, but there is a lot of vegetation. There's a lot of sort of weird, uneven ground areas that players can hide in. They can be behind bushes, they can be behind hedges, they can be behind trees, lots of areas where players can go prone in the corner, and I just found it very difficult to really figure out where I was going to get shot from all the time. I think that's something that will just simply come with experience and playing the map more, but, you know, I just wanted to put that out there. Now, a bit of a PSA for people out there. There are some weird bugs that have unfortunately crept in with this update, and one of them, well, I'm not sure this is a bug, but for whatever reason, all of our key bindings, our settings, have reset for a lot of people. Now, depending on what kind of person you are, if you don't change any key bindings or settings, then this is probably not a big deal to you. But if you're somebody who does a lot of customization, if you have not played the game yet, you haven't launched the new update, what I recommend doing is saving your prof save profile from your My Documents folder, save that somewhere on your desktop, then launch the game, let it update your file, and then basically go into your new prof save profile and the old one, and copy paste all of the various lines that have key binding. So I think it's anything that starts with gst.keybinding, copy paste those at the same places into the new file, and then you shouldn't have to redo all of your key bindings. On the other hand, if you're like me and you didn't have a clue about this and you booted up the game and you lost your prof save profile, then you're kind of shit out of luck. You just got to go through all of them and do them again. It wasn't that big of a deal for me, but I saw a lot of people complaining about this. I think something else that is massively bugged are the defibs for the support class. I don't know if it's just me, but a lot of the time, you know, I'd find myself running along trying to revive somebody, whether they were charged or not, and I just kept failing. And at first I thought maybe I'm just really bad at the game or something, I'm just not doing it properly, but it felt very inconsistent, whereas normally, you know, I would always hit my defib maybe like 99% of the time. Sure, there's the odd one that I would fail, but leave your comments down below. Let me know, are you also experiencing this? Is it just me who's finding it incredibly inconsistent now? I know they did make some changes to like maybe the hitbox area of the soldiers where you can defib them. I actually thought that they made it a little bit more lenient, so it would be easier now, but it unfortunately seems to have had the reverse effect, and it's harder. So hopefully they're going to fix that if it is indeed an issue in the future. Another problem I had is that the helicopter flight ceiling is way too low. It's something like, I want to say 100 meters. It's ridiculously low. Like, you start elevating, you start gaining some altitude, and within a couple of seconds, you're stuck in the treacle that is the flight ceiling. So when it comes to like heli 1 versus 1s, when it comes to, you know, getting out the way and evading man paths, or really anything, the only option you have is to hug the ground. And also, for whatever reason, most of the time I felt like I should be under radar. I was sticking to the ground. I was still getting locked on by missiles. So I don't know if that's a bug with the missiles. I don't know if it's something with under radar. Definitely the flight ceiling is way too low. I thought we'd learnt our lesson, DICE, from Blackwell Fields. Apparently not. But they need to look into this. It really, like, I can't stress it enough. They need to up the flight ceiling tomorrow. Now let's talk battle pickups, because the battle pickups actually kind of surprised me. They are pretty fun to use. So there's two different ones. The first one is a railgun. I think you get around 5 shots for this. And it's a charge-up rifle. Only the way it charges up is that you can charge it like in increments. So you can hold your trigger or your mouse button down, and then you can let it go, and then charge it up a little bit. And once it fully charges, it will let off the shot. But if you leave it charged for too long, it will reset and you'll have to start the charge again. Now this will one-shot infantry, I believe it 2-shots light vehicles, and it also does a fairly hefty amount of damage against tanks. Nothing crazy, you know, you're only going to be able to like 4-shot or 5-shot a tank, but just like with rockets and stuff, if you hit them in the side of the armor or in the rear, you are going to be doing more damage there. So this is just a really fun sort of sniper weapon to use. And then the other one is, of course, the minigun. Now the minigun, as you would expect, absolutely shreds infantry. However, it kicks like a mule. It has insane recoil, and it's got this really weird thing when you start firing it, where instead of kicking upwards, it sort of kicks down, as if your soldier is preemptively pulling down the minigun to begin firing it or something, and you have to like move your mouse up instead of down to counteract that, and then the recoil kicks in. It takes a lot of getting used to for me, and the recoil is extremely stable and consistent throughout. So it's really a close-up weapon, you know. I can imagine if you come around a corridor, you could just mow down 15 people in a split second, but it definitely doesn't have a lot of range. Add to that then that the ADS time and you know, getting it spinning and firing is quite lengthy. You're not really going to be winning any one-on-one gunfights with this thing if you see the enemy at the same time as they see you. But overall, I think these are two just, you know, fun, sort of slightly silly but entertaining additions to the game. So outside of that stuff and the Eastwood map, we also got a new game mode called Sabotage. This is an 8 versus 8 mode, and basically it revolves around destroying boxes. It's kind of a weird mode, honestly, not what I expected. All of the boxes within the A zone or the B zone will have a certain amount of health, and your goal then as the attackers is to whittle down the health of these boxes. So you'll spend 1 round defending, and then you'll get your chance to attack, and whichever team ends up doing the most damage while attacking, they will overall win the match. And you can use whatever you want to kill these boxes. You can shoot them with your gun, you can use grenades, you can use rocket launchers, like whatever you want. But I've got to be honest, whilst I didn't find this like unenjoyable as a mode, it just isn't really the sort of thing I come to Battlefield for. I come to Battlefield to play Conquest, to play maybe some Breakthrough, you know, vehicular action. I'm not really in it for these small-scale game modes. I feel like there may be something more tactical, and yes, probably more competitive, but that's only something I would want to experience with my friends or a group of players on Discord. And most of the time, I'm just playing the game by myself. So for me, I was not a massive fan. I don't think it's a bad game mode, again, but it's probably not something that I'll put a great deal of time into. And that's what brings me to an actual gripe with this new update. So to preface this, let me explain exactly how this works straight from the horse's mouth. This is what DICE have written about the California Resistance bonus path in the Battle Pass. They say it can be completed concurrently alongside the Season 1 Battle Pass. In other words, you do not need to choose to make progress between a Season 1 Battle Pass, i.e. Rogue Ops or Soldiers or Fortune, and the California Resistance bonus path. Instead, bonus path tiers are progressed by earning specific bonus path points separate from the progress made on the Season 1 Battle Pass. Each bonus path tier requires 10 bonus path points to unlock, which means you need to earn 110 bonus path points to complete the bonus path. Bonus path points can be earned in one of two ways. Weekly challenges may award bonus path points as indicated on the challenges screen. The amount of points earned varies by challenge. For example, an easier weekly challenge can award a range of bonus path points depending on difficulty. Not all weekly challenges award bonus path points. Specific weekly challenges that grant these points will be made available during the California Resistance event. California Resistance event challenges also reward California Resistance bonus path points. These are objectives themed around this update's new experiences. For example, one event challenge has a simple objective to complete matches of Sabotage, while another tasks you to get kills or assists with launchers in all modes. So I'm going to show you guys exactly what they're talking about here. If we come into the challenges, and these are the weekly challenges, right? These only apply for week 4 and beyond. So if you come to this one here, and of course you can re-roll these, you can see that this one will grant me 5 regular Battle Pass points, and then 3 bonus path points as well. And I've already completed a few of these, and if we come into the Battle Pass, you'll see I've already completed 2 out of 11 tiers. So that's fine, right? The problem, though, is that there's a new path up here called California Resistance, which allows you and gives you more of these bonus path points. But you're going to notice that for almost all of these, you are required to play pretty much only the new game mode. So win matches of Sabotage. Sabotage, Sabotage, Sabotage. Okay, this one is revive or resupply teammates at objective. That's fine. Deal damage with gadgets. That's okay. If we come down here, there's one in Battle Royale. And then we've got one with the battle pickup. So all of these are basically a smattering of game modes themed around this particular update for this season, right? So it requires that you partake in all of the content. Now, sure, if you don't like playing Battle Royale, you can just skip the Battle Royale one. If you don't like playing Sabotage, well, you're going to have to skip like 5 of them, which is, I think, around half of them or something. And I'm just not a fan, really, of forcing players to play specific modes. Like, why can't we just have it so, okay, sure, you have to get kills with LMGs or play this specific class or whatever it is. But I think when they're trying to force you to play a specific mode just because it's the new mode, even if you don't enjoy it, I don't know, it just doesn't seem conducive to an enjoyable gameplay experience for me. You're caught between, do I play the game mode I actually want to play, the one that I actually enjoy, which for a lot of people out there will be something like Conquest, like Escalation, maybe Breakthrough, or do I want to level up the Battle Pass as quick as I can and force myself to play Sabotage so that I can get my hand on the weapon. Again, if there wasn't a weapon in this Battle Pass path, maybe I wouldn't have as big of a problem with it, but there is, and it's right at the end of the path, and in my book, that is just honestly not on. It just seems kind of weird when we've already been through this argument with the Battle Royale. You know, they gave us these reroll tokens so that we could reroll the challenges, but not with this specific Battle Pass path. So why not? Like, why are we repeating the mistakes of the past again? It's obvious that the community don't really like this kind of thing. So why force us to do that? It's not the be-all, end-all, it's not ruining my day or anything, but, you know, I just thought it was something I should probably mention. Now, as I mentioned at the start of the video, DICE have implemented some additional fixes following update 1.1.2, and they say here alongside the release of said update and California Resistance, we've implemented several gameplay and progression changes based on your feedback. So following your feedback to our communication last week, Escalation now has had its time increased for capturing objectives by roughly 20%, extending the length of each phase for a smoother, more tactical flow. This change gives your squad more time to react, reposition, and coordinate vehicle spawns while maintaining the mode's fast-paced intensity. Honestly, I think this is a good change. I do think escalation was sometimes a little bit prematurely over, so we'll see how this one pans out. Next, we've also deployed backend fixes for challenge rewards not unlocking correctly. These updates address issues where completed challenges could fail to grant rewards or appear multiple times. Participating in a match should now reward you with any outstanding rewards from challenges. And then additionally, we've also rolled out a small change to how player kill and death statistics are shown within your player profile. Going forward, Portal kill death statistics will no longer be listed within the kill death amount on your profile, and kill will only showcase human kills. Portal statistics will be shown in a different capacity in a future time. So basically, if you're somebody who farmed the crap out of bots in Portal and you artificially inflated your KD by doing that, that's gonna be rolled back now. Now you're gonna sort of see everybody's true KD. So that should be interesting. Also, just wanted to mention this, I'm sure most of you guys already own Battlefield 6 if you're watching these videos, but Battlefield Bulletin did post this. He says 5 modes and 3 maps. Battlefield 6 All Out Warfare is free for everyone from November the 25th to December the 2nd, so that's for a week. Siege of Cairo, Eastwood and Blackwell Fields, Conquest Breakthrough, Sabotage and Team Deathmatch. More information about the free trial will be shared next week in a dedicated blog article. Stay tuned. So that's good news. That means if you're somebody who's playing the free version of the game, that is to say Red Second Gauntlet, you're going to be able to get a little taste of what the regular multiplayer action is like. So there you go, guys. We're going to end this one there. Overall, the new update, I would say it is a positive one. Not everything about it is my cup of tea personally, like Sabotage, but there probably are a lot of people that do enjoy that game mode. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, to add to the game. The new map has been thoroughly enjoyable of what I've played for it. I'm looking forward to playing more and learning all of the routes and just how to navigate it a little bit better. The battle pickup weapons actually exceeded my expectations. So overall, I've been having a lot of fun. It is a Battlefield update though, and as such, it doesn't come without its bugs, even though most of them have been fixed. I know a lot of you guys will be asking, Ghost, what about the bloom updates? What about the recoil updates for the weapons? The answer to that is I haven't done enough testing yet to really properly comment on it, so I'm going to leave that for this video, and I'll probably comment on that in the future. But as always, guys, let me know your own comments down below. What have you been thinking so far of the new map? What do you think about the new update in general? If you guys enjoyed the video, leaving a like is always appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe. Of course, do stay up to date with everything Battlefield 6, and I will see you all in the next one.